Hello, this is another mod. Now, we're not here to F spiders. Well, actually we are. This is the Skulltula mod. Whoop! Accidentally hit Z instead of oh, good thing no one was standing there. Anyway, step 1. Go to Dawnstar. You know where Dawnstar is. It's one of the major cities. You go to Dawnstar and you head toward Quicksilver Mine. Go along the boats, go along the shore here. Keep going around until you come across. There's that little island there, and then over here is a desiccated, messed up house. And there's giant spider fighting some horkers. That, of course, is a big Skulltula. And some normal Skulltulas. Okay. Guess I'll take, since I have the Skulltula captive audience here, I'll show you different types of Skulltulas. There's the normal Skulltula, which I'm trying to rearrange the corpse here so you can see it. Well, there you go. You can sort of see it. It has a skull on its carapace, rather than its abdomen like Skulltulas usually do. There you go. Skull on its carapace. And the big Skulltula uses the same exact texture. It's just big. And obviously the analog is the frostbite spider, the big giant frostbite spider, and the normal frostbite spider. I'm trying to get a... Oh, there you go. That's I'm trying to get a picture of it. Okay. And big Skulltulas, they're exactly the same as big giant frostbite spiders. Skulltulas will always be 70% of your level. So they'll be a challenge. Now there's a third type of Skulltula, which makes up the bulk of this mod. Why this mod is so awesome. And hardcore, well not hardcore, anybody who has played Zelda, Ocarina of Time, or Majora's Mask knows that there is a third type of Skulltula. Gold Skulltulas. And they run away from you. And they always are carrying a gold Skulltula token, as they should. They're just yellow, and they have a different style skull on their carapace. It's not quite as dark, I guess. It's a different, the eye sockets are a different shape. Get that. Now, the gold Skulltulas will spawn wherever a normal Skulltula, a little frostbite spider will spawn. Usually in caves and stuff. And as you saw, they run really fast. So if you hit them, they run away. They're pretty fast, he said before. But those are the ones that you want to find, because they carry the gold Skulltula tokens. Once you get a gold Skulltula token, you come back here, and yeah, okay. So the Dawnstar, here's the ocean spider house, and there's a girl in the fireplace. She's just a normal bandit. She has some equipment, whatever. But there's a note by her, and that's important. You read the note, it's part of a page of her journal, and it's really hard to read because it's bloodstained, but there's a line here. Winter holds no grip on me. So I'm gonna take this. Winter holds no grip on me. That is a heavy hint as to where to go next. I mean, you can ignore that note and ignore everything, but it sort of helps with this thing, the spider house table. And, you can trade in Skulltula tokens for spoils. And winter holds no blah-de-blah, winter hold. So let's go to Winterhold, and I will show you what I put there. Right, here we are in here we are in Winterhold. You gotta search the ruined houses here. There's nothing in this one. There's...
Heard they're reforming the Dawn?
Yeah, that's great. You've been talking about that for years. In this fireplace... Is it this fireplace? No, it's the other fireplace. This house, right here. There's the fireplace that has snow in it, but it's not completely engulfed, so it's sort of the farthest... closest one to the... Yeah, it's the closest one to the college. And there's a note, an old list, and it's a list of all the things that you can get from the spider house table. There's money, a painful stone, medallion of life, tears of an angel, shard of life, and death to arachnids. And I will show you what each of those mean. This is actually the list is actually a reference to, like, each stage of Skulltula tokens is a reference to the actual original games, where you get a wallet for like every other thing, and then bomb chews, stone of agony, and other things. And a few of these items I sort of made references to other Zelda games that didn't have gold Skulltulas. So once you have that list, you don't need the list, but it's a good thing to have, so you know what your goals are, and so you know that it's not just 10 Skulltula tokens and that's it. There's more to it. There's 100. You can get you actually, if you wanted to get every single thing, including the money, you would need 660 Skulltula tokens. So yeah, it's an ongoing thing. There's an unlimited number of gold Skulltulas in Skyrim. It's not like there's only 100 and that's it. They spawn all over the place. So you return to Dawnstar, and actually there's an alternate route to the spider house. You can fast travel, and then you appear by that cairn or whatever, and you turn left up this hill, and that will lead you, if you go north, to the spider house. And the Skulltulas at the spider house respawn every so often, except the gold Skulltula. And actually, it's good to loot Skulltulas, because occasionally one of them will be holding an emerald, which is my way of referencing the rupees that enemies sometimes drop in Zelda. Okay, whoop. Oh, fart. Get out of here, Frost Troll. Done and done. Ooh. Okay, you have fun with that. Right. So you have the list. You're gonna look at the spider table. And now that you have the list, you can see everything that you can get. So I will show you that. At 10, you get 500 gold. At 20, you get the Stone of Agony, which is actually a spell tome. I'm gonna give myself some tokens. So Stone of Agony, let's show that off. Stone of Agony. And I think I did a pretty good job of replicating what it looked like in game. It's just more rock-like. It's a spell tome. You read it, and you learn the spell Stone of Agony, which is an alteration spell, and it's actually a detect life spell, but it detects life and death, or dead, whatever. So yeah, I can show you that really quickly. See, Enora is living, obviously, and she appeared as blue because she's my companion, whereas these corpses appear as sort of fiery, flamey looking, meaning they're dead. So it detects both life and dead. I was gonna make it a necklace, but that didn't work. I think it's better if it's just a combined spell like this. And it's still useful, it's very useful. Okay, so that's that. At 30, you get more money. More money. At 40, you get 15 scrolls of Flaming Familiar. Which, this is the only way you can get scroll. Well, I'm sure there are other mods that make scrolls for Flaming Familiar, but usually Conjure Flaming Familiar is actually a spell tome that you get from Highgate Ruins. And this is an approximation to the bomb shoes. So just show that. And what the Flaming Familiar does, this is a vanilla spell. It rushes into battle and explodes. So that solves that. And you know, they're like bomb shoes. At 50, you get the Life Medal, which fortifies your restoration skill. So, well, not really your skill. It lowers the cost of restoration spells by a third. This is the strongest, without making your own, this is the strongest fortification of that skill. The strongest fortify restoration medals or amulets out there are like 25%. This one's 33%. So it's definitely, it's still good, and it's worth a fair bit of gold. So even if you didn't really need it, you could sell it, and you can break the enchantment off of it. See how slowly my magicka is draining? Look at that. Okay. So that's the life medal. Obviously it's a reference to Skyward Sword. At 60 you get more gold. At 70 you get the Great Fairy's Tears. And look at that description. Completely restore health, completely restore magicka, completely restore stamina. Heightens melee damage and resistance to magic for 30 seconds. This is a preliminary version of the mod, so the version you have won't have heals, health, magicka, stamina completely. It'll be correct when you have it. I'm gonna write down a note to myself. So, get that. That's a reference to Twilight Princess, Great Fairy's Tears, and it does exactly what the Great Fairy's Tears did. Completely heals you, and let the record show that my Eastern Thrummer short sword is 52. When I drink the Great Fairy's Tears, it increases, or it should have increased, it increases to 156. That's a lot. yeah, it's... And it for 30 seconds, so this is like a berserk potion, pretty much. This is a very useful potion. At 80, with 80 tokens, you get... No, oh yeah, 80 is the Piece of Heart. And I'm really proud of how this turned out. I designed that thing myself. Piece of Heart. It's based on a gold amulet, but I designed that Piece of Heart on it myself, and I did vertex colors and everything. I like how it turned out. You can wear it, and it fortifies your health by 100 points, so this character's health is currently 210. I wear the Piece of Heart, and her health increases to 310. So that's also ridiculously useful. And there's something else that you can do with it. You notice, oh whoops, don't want to see that. I gave it away, spoilers. You notice that there's 1/4 of it. If you get 4, you can cram them together into a heart container. And I'm really proud of how the heart container turned out. It's actually 2 garnets shoved together and blown up a little, and it turned out so well. And it's also a hidden spell tome. Oh, I didn't know I had this. Heart container. Yeah, you can drop it and decorate your house with it. It doesn't really have very good... It's cool looking. It's just good for like putting on a table or something. But yeah, it's a spell tome so it can only use it once, and it gives you an ability. Player's health is 210. Read the heart container, and it is permanently fortified to 310. And actually, if you made another heart piece, you could fortify it to 410. But you can only do it once. It's only once, and from then on, it's not gonna increase your health anymore, because I was not about to let you get infinite heart containers. That's just not right. But you can, with the Piece of Heart, you can fortify your health to 400 and something. This character anyway. See, now she has 410, so she's doing pretty alright with those 2 pieces of equipment. At 90 you get more money, but then at 100 you get a blatant reference to Minecraft. But this is a lot better than the Bane of Arthropods swords in Minecraft, believe me. This sword, it just looks awesome. It's a dwarven sword that's been recolored steel gray. But look at the effect. Okay, it's shock, right? When you're walking, there's this nice little trail. Like the, some of the ancient Nord weapons, the Draenheart weapons, I think. And there's this great little subtle trail behind it. And it does more damage to insect-like enemies and arachnid enemies. So I'm gonna just dual wield here. It's 41, so let's get my glass war axe out. I'm working on a Dawnguard version that will affect Chaurus hunters. But right now it's just vanilla. The Chauruses, frostbite spiders, mud crabs, dwarven spiders, and Skulltulas. So I'm gonna summon up a Chaurus. I hate Chauruses. Okay, so I hit it with my War Axe, and it does a little damage. Hit it with my Bane of Arthropods, and it does a lot more. Okay, wow, gee. Those guys are doing ridiculous amounts of damage. I mean, she has 410 hit points, and yet 2 chars has almost killed her. Wow. But yeah, you saw how, it makes pretty quick work of arachnid enemies. And even on normal people,
I'm on your side.
It slowly does some shock damage to them. So it's a really helpful sword. It's equal in quality to a Daedric sword, if I remember correctly, and plus it just looks cool. Okay, the last thing from the Spider House table: if you have 110, you get a spell tome of Bane of Arthropods. And that is the spell tome. And if you read it, you get the Bane of Arthropods spell, which is a chain lightning spell that deals extra damage to insect enemies. See, I just wallop that. Oh, come on. Yeah, the Bane of Arthropods spell is a lot more helpful than the, It's a lot more helpful than the, sword. The sword is still really awesome. There might be some kinks to work out with it, but the Bane of Arthropods spell is really useful. And that's sort of the crowning achievement of this whole mod. And if that wasn't enough, you can actually strip the enchantment off of the Bane of Arthropods sword, because technically you can get another one if you want. So you can make a Bane of Arthropods mace if you wanted to. Do I have a conjure? No, I don't. I'm just gonna summon up a furniture here to show that. Changer's potion. Come on, there it is. Place me. B-A-D-O-D. Okay, so we have an arcane enchanter here. And you can disenchant Bane of Arthropods. And you can actually disenchant life metal. And so you can enchant... Oh, yeah. Plus 40 Bane of Arthropods, plus 7 Bane of Arthropods. Yeah, that's silly kind of... Oh, yeah. If you have my... By the way, if you have my Termina Shield mod, don't use the Gem of the Ocean or the Gem of the Swamp for enchanting. Please. That hurts my everywhere if you do that. Okay, Bane of Arthropods. Boom. So now... my axe here. Did I make that? No, I didn't. I actually canceled it. Got distracted by not wanting people to use the Gem of the Swamp for enchanting. It's just... Okay, craft that item. Okay, now my glass war axe has Bane of Arthropods on it, and it has this awesome trail. Yep, the trail is part of the enchantment. That is just so nice. You know, it's from a sword, so it sort of sticks out a little. Ah, who cares? I have a Bane of Arthropods sword. I mean, axe. So, that's the Skulltula mod. Go out and screw some spiders.